When the earth starts to settle, God throws a stone at it. And believe me, he's winding up.
So, they heard oral arguments. So Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. They heard the oral arguments on Donald Trump's executive order to stop birthright citizenship. Now, they haven't made any decisions yet. They haven't officially decided anything, as far as I'm aware. And this is just to ask questions, to feel the whole thing out. How does this work in this situation? How does it work in this situation? What do you think? And then they get together and they figure out what they're going to decide. What concerns me is the questions they ask. I gotta say that I didn't really hear even one fucking good question. And most of the questions I heard were so retarded that I couldn't believe what I was listening to. Things that concern me is like when Justice Roberts says, yeah, this is a different country, but it's still the same Constitution. Like, these motherfuckers are supposed to be interpreting the law. And they're not supposed to be interpreting the law in the 1800s. They're not supposed to be interpreting the law in the 1900s. They're supposed to be interpreting the law in the fucking 2000s. If we were just going to say, oh, well, so it is written, so it shall be done, no matter what, why isn't it that we don't still have slaves? Why isn't it that the women can vote? Because we changed these things. Because it became a different world. Because it became a different country. Because we had different ideals. It's supposed to be a living document. It's supposed to be able to be changed as things change. And I believe that birthright citizenship, for just anybody no questions asked, is fucking retarded. It's being abused. It's become a fraud. It's a scam. I don't give a shit what it was once for. What it is now is scamming us. People are taking advantage of the good-naturedness of the past and using it to fuck the present. It's the reason why the Constitution is a living document. It is to be changed. That is why it is able to be changed. That is why it is not written in stone. That's why we get amendments. That's why we're having this discussion in the first place. At one point, we needed it, and they said, we need that. Now, we don't. It was a permanent solution for a temporary problem. Now it's a scam. But Donald Trump packed the court with constitutionalists. And a bunch of people that have been threatened and cajoled. And they're going to go, look, I don't care. We're going to follow what the Constitution says. And don't fucking come to my house. They're going to kick the can down the road. like they do on everything else of consequence that would make a big difference, that would change things. Because, oh, well, some people might not like it. Well, a lot of people might not like it if you don't fucking do anything. A lot of people might get tired of all of the lawmakers not making appropriate laws. And then what happens? How messy does it get then? I watched a video a couple weeks ago of a guy standing at the front of a school zone, or like the middle of a school zone or whatever, and he's throwing fucking cakes at cars that aren't driving the speed limit, that they're blowing through a school zone. He's throwing fucking foodstuffs at people's cars. Daniel Penny choked the motherfucker out on a train. Killed his ass. Why? Because the cops don't do their job. When the system breaks down, it recorrects. And it's called vigilante justice. We don't want that. That's really messy. But if you assholes keep standing around doing nothing, somebody's gonna do your job for you. And that's not gonna be cool. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't have a lot of faith in a woman who says, well, if I were to go to Japan and break the law, I would be subject to the law, so therefore I'm a citizen. What? What? What the fuck even is that? What does that have to do with fucking anything? No, you're not. What is this shit, man? No. In fact, you do not become a citizen of a different country just because you go there and are expected to obey the laws. No matter where you go, you're expected to obey the laws. Ask Johnny Smalley. He might be going to prison for like 8 years because he went to a slew of different countries and broke the laws. And a bunch of them just kicked his ass out until finally one of them said, we're not fucking with you. And he's been on trial ever since. But that don't make him a fucking citizen. He's not South Korean now. I knew when I watched Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation that she was going to be the most retarded human being in the world. And she is not disappointed. Every time they make a ruling on just about anything, I always have to... You'll never believe what Ketanji Brown Jackson said about this. What? And it's always something asinine as fuck. And yet again, she does not disappoint. Stupid as fucking... What am I supposed to even do with that? Well, if you're here and you're expected to follow the laws, then that makes you a citizen. No, it doesn't. No, it shouldn't. Are you kidding me? What makes you a citizen all the way up until you commit a crime? So all the illegal immigrants are citizens all the way up until we acknowledge that they've committed a fucking crime. And then what? We put them in jail, and now that they're under our legal system, they're citizens? Is this what you're saying? Like, how retarded am I supposed to think you are from that? That's my question. Because no matter what, you're an idiot. Now the question is degree. How much of an idiot are you? If they overturn this birthright citizenship thing, we're fucked. Like, certain things are just snowballs rolling downhill. The inevitable is coming. And I've been saying this for years. It's the reason why this is 1,000 years of darkness. Because we're going to keep being stupid. And it's going to keep getting worse. Until it has to get worse. And then it's going to get even worse. But if they overturn this shit, and they say, well, just because you're in the country, you should be a citizen. We're fucked. We're so fucked. We're going to be a country of 5 billion people. But, again, they haven't decided anything. They haven't given their decision. They haven't given their opinion. But the questions they're asking make me think they're retarded. Which makes me think we're fucked.